Hello, this is Lolly. Welcome back. Today I want to show you how to make these. So a while ago, and let me zoom in, a while ago in one of my crafts gone by videos, I showed this, and this was something I had made in the late 90s. So this is how old this little thing is. And so it's a shaker. Let's see all the goodies at the bottom there. And I made this with just a solid colored cardstock. And I had asked in the video, would you like to see a tutorial if I can remember how to make this? And it was kind of overwhelming, yes. So I've been playing around making them, and I'm just going to show you the outside of these right now. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I will show you the insides and the details and the accents on those. Okay, so let's get started. You will need a 9 by 6 inch piece of cardstock. I've drawn this one out on just printer paper to show you what the score lines are going to look like. These are not perfectly straight, so just letting you know. So in this case, I used just a solid colored cardstock. You can do that. You can use decorative cardstock that's single-sided, or you can use double-sided cardstock. So whichever your preference is. I'm going to do one right now using this American Crafts paper pad. And this one, I don't see a name for it. But anyway, this one I think I got it at Tuesday morning or something. Yeah, probably did. This one is what I'm picked out for it. Now, if you have lines, or here's like this, you want to cut it so that the 9 goes this way, okay, instead of this way. You want the long ways this way. Well, unless you just want yours to look different. So let's get a scoreboard out. We're going to score. We have the long ways up here. I'm going to score at 1.5, at 3, at 6, and at 7.5. Again, so I did 4 of those. Now I'm going to rotate it and score at 1.5, oops, and at 4.5. And that's what that looks like. So I know you have a hard time seeing that, which is why I drew this out. Now the next thing is we need to cut off, get your little scissors here. We need to cut off the corner pieces. So that will be these pieces here. And when we're cutting, we're going to cut just outside of that score line. So just outside there. And save those pieces because we're going to use some of them. Okay, so we have cut those off. Now I want to, see how this box right in the middle, that's a 3-inch box. I am going to fold all the edges in around the box. So when you were choosing, if you have double-sided cardstock, you want the pattern that you want on the inside of the box up when you're doing this. Okay, so all the sides have been folded up toward the center of this box. Now these two flaps, these two flaps on the very outside, we're going to flip it over and fold those in and score those. And burnish those. Now we're going to work on these corner pieces right here. And what we're going to do is score across like this toward the center. Now you can finagle that in your scoreboard if you want. I prefer to just flip it over. I lay my bone folder in the corner, put the ruler up against there, and score to the center, and then from that out. So I did it in one stroke. I put my ruler all the way across and I scored here and there. I'm going to flip it over and do the same here. Now what we're going to do is turn it right side up and fold this in. So I'm grabbing the two sides here. I'm putting my finger kind of on the dotted line and I'm folding those two corners up together. So this side and this side are going to meet But I'm going to put my finger here to hold the base down. See? Hold the base down, bring this up, and put my finger down the middle, pull those two sides together. I'm bending it on the score line. You can also burnish those. Make sure you're not scoring or folding into the center here. Okay. And one more, and now we're going to work on this. We're going to find the center here, which is 1.5. If you measure from here to here is 3. Halfway is 1.5, and we're going to score this way. Only I'm actually going to measure. I just drew that out. Okay, so we're going to do this from the right side. And we're going to score from that little dot that we just drew to the bottom corner, and from that dot to the bottom corner here. So I'm going from that dot to the bottom corner of that base there. Okay, and now this time we're going to fold the little triangle that we just drew is going to come toward us like this. See that? So this little triangle that we just drew is coming toward the base here. Okay, now all we have to do is glue this, but I'm going to go ahead and work on these flaps first by turning it over. And this side right here is going to get folded over to here, but what I'm going to do is put it up to that fold line, but not on it. And same thing here. This is going to be up against here. Notice I didn't score first. And under the video, I'm going to put a timestamp on everything, so you can go back to just to look at all the cutting and folding and scoring measurements, so that you remember later on, you know, if you want to watch the video again, you can skip all the preliminaries. Okay, get your liquid glue out. I'm going to glue these flaps in. I'm using Barely Art liquid glue. Okay, now those are the flaps of our box. What we need to do now is these corners here, pinch them together. So I'm going to pinch one, and I'm going to fold it under this flap here like this. Now see, this is why it's really pretty to have double-sided paper, because otherwise you have a completely white box. But we have a way around that. So I want to put just a little bit of glue on the inside, but mostly I want to glue this right here. Bring that around. Hold that for just a sec. So same one, pinch this one and bring it over, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue right on the inside there and then on the flap, and then turn it over. So with this point facing us, we're going to pinch this, a little bit of glue on the inside, glue the flap, and fold it over. Now that is the entire construction of our box. Now, give these sides a little push. And what you want to do is give this a really good burnish. Now, that is the construction right there. Okay. If you had wanted to stamp an image here, like it wasn't so busy and it was more plain and you could stamp it, I would advise stamping it when everything is flat right now. Stamp it and then do all your gluing. So what we can do about how plain the box sides are is we can glue things on the side. So if you want to put something here, that measurement is 2 3/4 by 1 3/4, and we'll want to cut 2. And this is also from the same collection. I'm going to use this. You see how that just perked it right up? It just added color right there. Another place you can add color is right in here. And for that, what you'll want to do is cut one square. Okay, now I'm in a yellow mood, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to cut 1 3/4 inch square. And then I'm going to cut that on the diagonal. You can use a ruler and a craft blade, or you can put it on your paper trimmer so that opposite corners are right on the cutting edge. Hold it down and do that. And then we're going to glue these in place. Just adds another little element there. So matting these little pieces of color here really helped when you have single-sided cardstock. See how that just really perks it up? Okay, now you just need something for the inside. So you can put a stamp, or you can put a ephemera, or you can put, you could still stamp something out and put it in there. A flower would be really cute. Words. Like this set has these, a lot of these are just too big, but this is kind of cute. It says just because. Now, remember the bottom of here is 3 inches, but we're going to have to make things really smaller than 3 inches. I'm going to make this 2.5 and see if I like that. I might just make it a little smaller yet. Let's go for 2-inch square. Now, you don't have to make this into a shaker, but if you do, you will need some acetate for the bottom, and I am cutting mine at a 2 7/8 inch square. And you don't even have to buy fancy acetate. This is transparency film that I got from a thrift store. So if I cut that at 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, it will just fit down in the bottom. So if you don't know what 2 7/8 is, it's the mark right between 2 3/4 and 3. And this allows it to get down in there. And then we're just going to pop some sequins in there and then our acetate. All right, so this was sent to me as a freebie. It's so pretty. And it doesn't take a whole lot, so, but there's only a teeny bit left. So that's what I'm going to use. And all you do is just lay this in there, because the box, the shape of the box holds it in there. You don't have to worry about it. It's just really fun. So what you can do with the top, remember how I said to save these squares that you cut out? You can cut those and use those as a decorative part on the top. So again, let's do the thing where we're matching up the corners. Like that. Glue these on there. This is also from the same paper collection. Now, the other thing you can do is you can put a sticker on there, half on, half off. Meaning, let me use this for an example. This is a hole punch. And it's really adorable. But if it were a sticker, stick it on halfway and put baby powder on the other half. Or, for just this, and you don't have to do any of this at all, I'm just going to glue half of it and center that. And you could put another thing on top of that, like a sticker or some flat back resin piece or a flat button. Okay, so now if you want to, and again, I had asked you to save these. I just need to straighten this one up a little bit. If you want to use some twine, I've got this baker's twine here I want to use, and I'm figuring about how long to make this. This is about 20 inches long. I'm going to find the center. There we go. Turn this over. And you could do this before you put your sequins in if you want. And this is one of the squares that we cut off right in the beginning. I'm going to put the center of this right there. and glue that on. Flip it over. Could have made this closer to 18 inches. Very fun. Okay, now I'm going to do one more. I'm going to speed up the camera while I'm doing it, and this time I'm going to be using these papers from Photo Play, and it's Halloween. Gnome for the holidays, Gnome for Halloween. So this is really cute. I think I might use this one, and this will give you an idea to show you what it's like using a striped paper. The pumpkin would be cute. So here's the example of that. We're going to put the pumpkin on there halfway. And then we're going to use the baby powder. Okay, now I need is some sequins in there and my little acetate. Okay, I have a lot of black in here, but I think I want to grab some of this, and this sequence says it's Lilac Lane, but I don't want to get these buttons because that's going to be too thick for me. I want my sequins to lie flat in here, so no buttons. And I might just put a little bit of yellow, make it really funky in there. And there we go. So that's that one. I want to show you the other ones and how they have come together. This is the one we just did. Let's show you the other ones. This one was also single-sided cardstock. And this is a sticker. It's a little chickie, and isn't it sweet? And this one, double-sided cardstock, also Easter. This is a hole punch, but then the little sticker in the middle. And there's a little lamb in there. So always be thinking about what color you want the inside of your box to be. And then this one I took a button and cut off the shank off the back of it. I'm also using the hole punch here to make that flower. I took the shank off and glued that on there, and this says kindness. This is paper. It was actually Julie Nutting paper, and I don't know what the whole line was, but it's really pretty. And it was double-sided cardstock, so the inside has the flower and the outside has this pale pink. But I added the plaid gingham also from the set. I did not add any triangles here. But isn't that, it has more of an elegant look. So before you glue anything really thick here, remember that if you want to put your a tie around it, this could be problematic. But another thing you could do would be to put a brad on there and do a wrap-around tie and wrap it around the brad. That would hold it shut as well, you know, so where it came around and wrapped around it. So very cute. I love these. They are easy to make once you get going at it. And I think your first one might be a little intimidating, but you can manage it. I have confidence in you. There you go. And you can see how I've evolved from this basic one here to all of these. Thank you for watching. Make sure you look at all the links down below this video.